They have 10 points, but Strathmore Leos are the only team that look like they've actually had a very perfect start, having won yet another match against the University of Nairobi Main Machine. Kenya Harlequin have dominated Impala in recent seasons, winning the last 3 encounters, 22-13 in the 2011-2012 season, 22-19 in the 2012-2013 season, and as recent as last season, 27-12. However, Queens have largely stuck to a side that has been very successful. However, you may not necessarily expect that to actually hold up for anything much. Guys to actually watch out for would be Godfrey Okoth, Laila Siligwa. Tony Mutai, the workhorse, just doesn't look like he gets any older, and doesn't look like he also gets any younger, but still has the ability to go around and deliver. Eric Kopondo will be starting on Impala. It would have been great to see his big brother Wilson Kopondo, who's a Kenya Harlequin player. Wilson looks like he's taken a bit of a sabbatical, so we'll not be able to see that sibling-to-sibling rivalry.
True indeed. And one other interesting thing to note is that on the Impala side, we have one Jeffrey Kome Anampiu. His dad and uncles played for Kenya Harlequins in the 90s, Jeff, Peter, and Gordon, and he's now lining up for Impala.
Looks like all these young fellas just love controversy. Did actually see an article, soccer-related. Brooklyn Beckham. Was it Brooklyn or was it Romeo? One of them looks like they're well on course to go around and play for Arsenal. So it would appear that certain level of resentment pops up on these young lads. For Impala, however, Coach Eric Situma looks like he's actually sticking up to the tried and tested combination. Actually, he did speak about Kome and Ampu. Very, very exciting player. You'll see him in the white shirt with the dreadlocks. Anthony Nyandigisi, definitely one of those players, if you actually asked me for my opinion, has been definitely underrated. And you've got Pius Yundu, who definitely has a lot of pace to burn. Lamek Dunda is injured. Would have been great to actually see him coming up and playing. Joel Omer, Bobby Quare finish up that forward line, and the battler, the flyer. What's your thoughts about that?
Whoa, that'll be something very interesting. Remember, Kevin Keegan is a very silky player. Neto Simiu is a very creative player. It'll be silkiness versus creativity. We have a battle on our hands.
Definitely indeed. Kenya Harlequins just lining up onto the pitch. They have to do their anthem. One would actually argue that they need some singing lessons. The voice is really not the best, but hey, it's not a singing competition, it's a rugby event.
And that is the Queens players just singing the national anthem. I beg your pardon, singing their anthem. I called it the national anthem.
Would have expected them to sing God Save the Queen. Would have been simple and easy to sing for everyone.
True indeed, true indeed. And anyway, this match is about to kick off any moment now. It will be handled by John Bosco Mwamba, former Black Blood player, now a teacher at Mangu High School. He'll take charge of this game. Lining up for Lunch Bar Queens, we have Eric Shikuku, William Mawira, Dennis Muhanji, Patrice Agunda, Paul Abuto, Kevin Keegan, Laila Siligwa, Brian Okwomi, Petro Misangu, Brian Wandera, Anthony Mtai, Herman Humwa, Enes Ngong, Edwin Oseko, and John Kilu. Replacements are Frank Kalwale, Stefan Otu, Michael Simiu, Amos Gatia, Godfrey Okoth, Brian Minor, Johnston Mungao, and Dennis Omusula. Lining up for Impala, we have Samuel Liech, Jojo Koa, Anthony Nyandigisi, Jeff Anampiu, Piers Shiundu, Neto Simiu, Mike Mugo, Duncan Ekasi, Felix Okari, Joel Omer, Paul Oimbo, Eric Kere, Bobby Quaya, Edgar Obino, and Hosea Ngesa as the match gets underway there.
Of course, this is expected to be a cagey affair in the opening exchanges. Straight from the kickoff, you can see Laila Siligo just punted the ball all the way down. Fortunately, went straight out and gifting Impala with a chance to have their first line out deep within the Queen's territory.
Successfully retrieved there and taken into contact by Michael Mugo, just keeping it alive. We have Joel Amar acting as scrum half, playing it to Neto Simiu. That's Jeff Anampiu first on the ball. Duncan
Ekasi breaking on through. Great work there by Kome and Ampiu. Neto Simiu looks like he's got options out in the open, and Oliech gets the ball. Impala looking very, very excitable. Duncan Ekasi retrieves the ball, runs to Patika Gunda. Not too much support coming down.
Let it go, let it go.
Impala retaining the ball possession. Neto Simiu definitely well tackled there by Brian Okwomi.
This is a storming start for Impala. Jose Angesa with the try. 1 minute into the match, Hillary. Samuel H lining up for the conversion. Hillary, your take on that opening?
That was some stormy round. I mean, of course, I'll be definitely very biased here. Seeing a prop scoring a try in a very high-octane charge match is definitely something great to have a look at. Now, just think out loud. That must be the third, if not the fourth, Ngesa name I've actually had. And incidentally, I also know of another Jose Ngesa. Be key to actually understand if they're relatives, and all of them have played for Impala.
Oliech with a sweetly struck conversion there. The scores are now Impala 7, Queens 0.
In your picture there, Impala faithful William Bisi doesn't look very happy. Wonder what he should have been expecting. So Impala with the early onslaught, 7 points. Queens still with 0.
So 2 minutes, 30 seconds of the Ngong Road derby. Impala leading Lunchbar Queens 7 points to 0. The try is scored by Jose Angesa. And that was
trying to be a bit tricky there. Almost just got them up flat-footed, but that'll be a knock-on.
Bang. Set. Play 9. Stay inside, stay bound. Stay bound. Flanker. Is that okay?
Great awareness there by Kenya Harlequins. Lila Siligo getting smashed. Great thumping tackle coming in. However, referee judges that Asiligo had not been released in the tackle, but that was some really heavy defending. I beg you, but that was Eric Shikuku who had the thumping tackle coming from Joel Omer. Doesn't look like a player who's actually been out as soon as last season with injury.
Well, Joel Omer is a menacing tackler of the ball. He's not one that you would want to mess with in a sticky situation like that. You just wonder if this will set the tone for this match here at the RFUEA Grounds.
I'm pretty certain, Mike, the gauntlet has definitely been thrown. And if at all we expected the caginess to last long, that has definitely been thrown off the hooks.
No, coming through. Advantage. No, you can't. You can't swim through to the back. You can't swim through to the back. You can't swim through to the back. Stay inside. 10 meters. Easy.
Queens opting for the line out from the penalty, looking to attack deep in the Impala half, probably looking to make something out of this piece of possession. We played about 5 minutes, and it has been 5 minutes of passion, 5 minutes of big hits. Jose Angesa with the opening try. That was converted by Samuel Liech. Meanwhile, this looks promising for Queens.
Amazing piece of strength, but the finish was not as good as the entire effort. Ball held up, so there'll be a scrum put in on the 5.
The numbers have no influence.
The ensuing scrum, not a successful Kenya Harlequins. Impala just piling lots of pressure. Queens managing to hang on by the skin of their teeth. Only just. Lala Siligwa gets the ball to Kevin Keegan. Dennis Muhanji shoots a ball. Paul Abuto not getting the best of balls, but Abuto manages to somehow keep it. Shikuku was it and Muhanji. Ball adjudged to have been passed forward, and it will be called back for a scrum put-in. Great interplay between Abuto, Shikuku and Muhanji. Kenya Harlequins are slowly beginning to get their groove in this match.
Just hold on, guys. Number 9, I don't want you in contact with any member of the scrum, okay?
Thanks. Just can you tell me when the ball is open? Because I can see like it's open.
Crouch! Bang! Set! Let's go, 9.
Mike Mugo with the Impala put in from that scrum down.
It's out. Ball is out.
Under pressure from Laila Siligwa.
Siligwa does well. Looks like the ball was knocked on forward, and it'll be a scrum put in for Kenya Harlequins. Great work coming in there from Laila Siligwa.
And you know, Hillary, just looking at the opening 7 minutes, one just feels that Queens were caught cold early on, and they're beginning to get into their stride. And had you joined this game at 1 minute, you'd have thought that it was going to be one-sided traffic. But indeed, there is a match on our hands. There is a contest.
My bigger concern is whether both sets of teams can manage to maintain the very high velocity that the game has started, because it's really looking like an energy-sapping encounter so far.
True indeed.
Mugo decides to almost return the favor. Bran Okomi doing well to retain the ball. Bran Wandera shrugs off the fast. Omer not very convincing with his tackle attempt there on Wandera. Ngesa manages to complete the tackle, and Queens have got numbers out. Keegan has Muhanji. Muhanji goes in, and great thumping tackle coming in from Nyandigisi.
Meanwhile, it's still Queens in possession, looking to attack the channel out wide, but losing out there.
And Ampu coming out, almost sticking the ball. It's actually, you know, something that will probably discern very many Kenya rugby followers to see an Ampu playing in an Impala jersey.
True indeed. And if you had joined this game and just heard the name Anampu, you'd have obviously identified it with Queens. But as Hillary has said, he's on the other side of the divide.
Fans still streaming into the RFUEA Grounds. Of course, this is something that pulls in fellows who perhaps even kept off from rugby for a couple of months. Neto Simiu with a very big boot. Patricia Gunda tracking it. But the flag goes up, so it'll be a line out.
Well, that was some brave play from Neto Simiu, just relieving the pressure that Queens were piling on Impala, just giving Impala that chance to regroup and breathe after that moment of pressure from Queens.
There's also an interesting battle that's beginning to just take shape in the wing. We've got Paul Abuto and Pius Shundu. Did see both players in the 7th circuit. They've got a lot of pace to burn. Paul Abuto just moments ago got a ball, managed to run around Shundu. I think Shundu needs to go around and strike even, just to return the favor.
And you know, that rivalry reminds me of the rivalry between Oscar Osir and Gabriel Oko from over 10 years ago in the same tournament.
We spoke about Pius Shundu. There he is, blistering pace Shundu. Thumping tackle coming from Patrice Agunda. It's more like Shundu almost waited for us to mention his name to just pick himself up into the game.
And there we just see Shiundu taken out in the tackle by Patrice Agunda. Nyandi Gisi just playing it to Mike Mugo, who just lost the ball, but the penalty advantage remains with Impala, and it looks like they are electing to go for goal.
Very sensible thing. They have not seen this side of the pitch for the last 7. Queens have actually piled lots of pressure. So any opportunity and every opportunity that you get, you've got to convert. Wise call there. Oliech not keen to take this very quickly, taking his time, taking a sip of water, perhaps even looked like he was looking for a cigar to puff onto.
just talks about the composure on the shoulders of this young man, tasked with extending Impala's lead.
Off the post by Oliech, and Ngesa, the try scorer, retrieves the ball and quickly sets Impala back into the game. Impala Jachov dived into the rack illegally, and Queens get a get out of jail card.
True indeed, things were looking ominous for Queens. That penalty seemed to be heading between the sticks, just bouncing off the posts. And Asiligwa boots Queens out of trouble.
Yes. Yes. Taking 32.
The ball forming from the line out. So Zasiligo just looking to distribute the ball. Booted deep again. This is George Okoa.
Stay on side wide.
I'm not certain where George Okoa got that idea or where he actually decided that that would work, but I'm pretty certain that it's the last time he'll do it in this game.
True indeed, because you could just see his facial reaction once the ball left his boot. He knew that he had sliced that kick, and he was probably now going to focus on other things.
Or probably got a shoe size bigger than his actual foot. Always does happen.
True. This is Brian Okwomi. Kevin Keegan.
Dennis Muhanji gets the ball, has only Oliech to beat, gives it to Paul Abuto. Abuto beats Shiundu, and yes, this is what we're talking about earlier, Kwambo. Abuto and Shiundu, right there.
True indeed, but you just have to look at what Dennis Muhanji did. Spotting the gap, exploiting that space. He had a man out wide, Paul Abuto, just shrugging off the challenge of Shiundu to touch down. 7-5, and we have a game on our hands.
Great level of experience being shown there by Dennis Muhanji. Kenya Sevens International and 15s International definitely knows how to take them, and I'm pretty certain that Impala will not be very happy looking at the replay on that. There was absolutely no response from Anthony Nyandegisi, who, by any standards, is a very decent defender.
Yep. Just feel that he was caught cold, maybe caught in a moment of indecision, unsure whether to defend the space or attack Muhanji.
Laila Siligwa good with the conversion, and we're back up on even Stevens, 7-all. This actually feels like a game that has passed, moved on through for 60 minutes. 15 minutes that we've actually watched so far has been extremely exciting. Neto Simi set to kick off Impala. This is definitely not over by any stretch of imagination. Astelegua didn't get it as well as he probably would have opted. Slices it, but manages to just carry it slightly over the 22-meter line. Ball not straight, so Impala lose out on the possession. Kenya Harlequin do the scrum put in.
Please. Stay half a meter.
Tony Mtai successfully claiming that line out throw. Quins mauling, looking again to set up something. We just feel right now the momentum is with them. Asiligwa just controlling his charges. Asiligwa, this is his first Kenya Cup appearance of the season. He has been out, was bereaved recently, the death of his dear mom. Our condolences to him. But anyway, back to the action on the pitch. Quins again just looking to build.
Haman, who were not very convincing with the ball in there. But the ball still comes off for a scrum put for Kenya Harlequins. And they'll be definitely looking very, very excited and looking to ride the wave.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Oh, 9. No, number 9.
Great scrummaging coming from Impala. Brian Okomi had to do a lot to get the ball. Referee still playing advantage for Kenya Harlequins. The old workhorse Tony Mutai going in. Met a very ferocious defense. Asiligo with the ball, decides to do the box hit. Paul Labuto tried to chase down Shiundu. Shiundu wasn't too certain where the ball was and walks out with it. The Kenya Harlequins just definitely beginning to pick up slowly and slowly into this game.
He was unbound. No. He has bounced to pick the ball. The scrum is still on. It's only out when the ball is out, okay?
So it's all square after 18 minutes. Quins though with the ascendancy. Edward Oseko with the line out throw.
Just play.
And it's deep in the Impala half.
Time out. Head up. Just hold on. Just, no, I think it's fine. Straight line. It's fine. Yeah.
Referee Mwamba just establishing order. Tony Mtai claims the line out.
Quins looking at doing the mole. This has been one facet of the play that Impala have been unable to effectively deal with Kenya Harlequins' offense. Duncan Ekasi this time managed to get through. The referee says that he actually did it legally. Asiligo gets the ball out, gets smashed off his hand, and it will be a penalty for Kenya Harlequins. Kenya Harlequins insist that they want to take yet another lineup. They fancy their chances, and all the hands were emphatically pointing towards the corner. So Asiligwa looks like he was left with no chance.
They sure do fancy their chances. Remember the great Quins sides of the late 90s and early 2000s thrived on this kind of play, and they just look to be bringing it back to life, looking to just squeeze the life out of Impala as the match proceeds.
They say the more things change, the more they remain the same, and I think it's the same Queen with the same tactics.
Tried and tested. If
However,
it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
However, one would probably, tend to wonder why they didn't do the 3 points, because Asiligo has been, well, known to be a decent kicker. And I think you can tell the reason why they decided to do that, and they lose the ball. There is a West African saying that states that he who actually swallows a coconut whole has faith in his digestive system. So it would appear that Kenya Harlequins swallowed an entire coconut but could not give it to a lively level of termination, for lack of a better term. We're on live TV anyway.
But you've got to admire the faith in their digestive system. Confidence par excellence.
Dry enough. You can't play here. Let's go white. Bang. Set. 9 when you're ready. Flanker. Stay bound.
And there seems to be a tussle emerging between Laila Siligwa and Mike Mugo. It will be interesting to see that battle as the match wears on. And Impala just doing enough to keep the ball alive. Neto Simiu. That was a massive boot and a timely boost also. Just getting them a bit of breathing space as the match proceeds. Remember, if you're joining us, we have played 20 minutes. We're heading on 21 minutes of the Ngong Road Derby. This is a Kenya Cup match day 3 fixture, pitting home side Lunchbar Quins against Resolution Impala Saracens Queens come into this match lying second on the log. They have an unbeaten record. They won their opening 2 games. Impala started with a loss to Mwamba on match day 1, winning last weekend against Homeboys, and currently drawing against Queens.
Excuse me, White.
Execution just not coming out according to the expectation there for Kenya Harlequins, gifting Impala with a line out. Bit of the numbs looking like they're beginning to set in. You get a feeling that more of these scales will probably fall off soon as the next team scores.
Mugo once again just playing it to Neto Simiu.
In the past six or 7 odd scrums that we've seen, Impala look like they have a lot more dominance in that facet of play. And you get a feeling that if at all there might be a game that there might be a part of the game that may go around and just prove to be an Achilles heel for Kenya Harlequins, it may be the scrummaging department.
And just also looking at the backs, Queens haven't really given Impala an opportunity to play, but neither have Queens gotten an opportunity to play. It has been a cagey affair thus far, just bursting into sparks of life. But I guess that's how derbies always turn out to be. Once again, confidence per excellence from Queens. Still opting to go for the line out. It's almost predictable what they're going to do every time they get a penalty. They'll go for the line out, they'll maul, and just look to gain territory from that.
Their maul, however, looks a little bit unorthodox. They look like they're actually running it instead of doing the control shove. And we did see them losing out on a strike scoring opportunity because I think in the action of the running, they probably got the person dislodged and easily held up by Impala. Could have easily scored 2 tries from that similar facet of game.
Just this way. Colored, 1 step this way. That's fine. That's fine. Watch numbers, please. They're fine. They're fine.
Queens just beginning to hog a lot more of the possession in this game. Kevin Keegan giving the ball to Muhanji. Muhanji gets a ball, breaks, and Abuto scores his second.
And that was a perfectly weighted pass from Kevin Keegan to Dennis Muhanji. Once again, Muhanji, the man doing all the hard work, piercing again. Just look at that. Beautiful offload, great sense of awareness from Paul Abuto. Who knows where the try line is? He barges over, extends the lead for Queens.
This looks to be turning out to be one of the better partnerships, Abuto and Muhanji. And you just get a feeling that Muhanji needs to get better treatment. He looks like the one who's currently just doing everything for Kenya Harlequins. Nyandi Gisi may need to go around and just rethink at how he's positioning. Muhanji looks to be having the Aseligo not good with the conversion kick, but still is a very decent attempt. So Kenya Harlequins, 25. Impala look to have fizzled out currently on 7 points.
Taken back in. Move away, tackler.
Petro Misango retrieves the ball straight from the kick of Kenya Harlequins. Kevin Keegan will look to clean up on that. Does it go out wide? Yes, it does. Duncan Nikasi thought that he had a chance to pick it up, but it goes all the way to the halfway line for a line out.
Well, you just feel, Hillary, that Queens have showed up for the party. They're surely in derby mood, keen to go home with the bragging rights.
Come here. Half a meter from the line. Yes? No, it's a line out. Play on.
Now picture there is Edgar Obino, the Impala Saracens hooker. Impala losing their own line out throw.
And you had an influence. You turned over the line out. Yeah.
Jelomer elects to be the battering ram. Michael Karaoke Mugo picking the ball out, and Neto Simiu not passing the ball. Well telegraphed in red. Hosea Ngesa with the ball. He's been a workhorse, Hosea. Don't get to see a lot of that from a prop.
No. Time out. Both captains.
Penalty advantage goes Impala's way.
Do you want to take a quick one? Sorry. I'll ask you
It
next
appears
time.
that the referee, John Bosco Mwamba, wants to have a chat with the Kenya Harlequins captain for some repeated infringements.
It's a big kick from Neto Simeo. This is turning out to be a rare foray for Impala into the Queens territory.
Samuel H. and Pius Shindi just having a chit-chat session. Incidentally, number 12, 13, 14, and 15 for Impala, rather, sorry, I beg your pardon. Number 12, 13, 11, and 15 of Impala were all at St. Mary's School, so they know each other quite well, including the number 9 for Kenya Harlequins, Laila Siligwa. They all did play together.
Impala looking to make something of this. But the penalty advantage swinging back to Queens, and in our picture there, Laila Siligwa, Kenya international scrum half, former St. Mary's School student. Just getting touch. And Hillary, random question. Do you think Queens will attempt to maul from here?
I'm pretty certain that it would probably get into their minds. Whether they'll actually go all the way till the try line is another question.
But anyway, just going back to our coaching days, I remember the pitch used to be divided into 3 zones. Of course, the latter part where Queens are playing in was the zone where you were encouraged to play safe. Put safety first in all your tactics. But they're looking to attack from there.
Stay on.
Okomi gets through the tackle, leaves the Kasi for dead, and Jose Angesa manages to retain the possession for Kenya Harlequins. Asiligwa gets a goal to Keegan. Keegan blasting a what you'd actually call a blasted bazooka ball. Oliech retrieves very well and moves on immediately. Shiundu with the ball. Has Nyandigisi. Nyandigisi beats one. And Anthony Nyandigisi looks like he's making amends. That was a great level of piece of play from Oliech. Absolutely brave.
Brilliance. That was brilliance.
And Nyandigisi
Right
definitely saves his blushes. He was a man who had Dennis Muhanji running through him twice, and he decides to take matters into his own hands.
But it all started with Sami Oliech going up for that ball, 50-50 ball, just going up, breaking the tackle, playing it to PS Shiundu, who had Anthony Nyandigisi in support. Nyandigisi breaking through the tackle, redeeming himself. Impala level 12-12 with the conversion to come.
That was some brave piece of play by Sami Oliech. Looks like he got a bit of a bruise, taking his time before doing the ensuing conversion, but some great piece of work there by Sami Oliech. And Nyandigisi and Pius Shiundu have been absolutely, I mean, you can't actually go around and talk about that try without looking at the roles that Anthony Nyandigisi, Pius Shiundu, and Sami Oliech had.
Talk about playing to your support. Talk about the chemistry. You know, Hillary mentioned something interesting, the fact that all these players were in St. Mary's School. You just feel there's that awareness, that chemistry, and it worked out for them. Oliech with the conversion, which is good. Impala back in the lead, 14-12.
Well, it looks like he's limping. May have just come off slightly bruised, more than he probably thought. But looks like he may be able to continue. All workers there, Polo Imbo running through. Pola Buto with the ball. That man Muhanji shrugs off Shiundu and an Ampiu. Gets well covered by Okova. Ball popped back, and Impala have the ball. Ngesa passes it to Neto Simi, who wasn't too certain as to where the ball was going to be passed. Samuel Leach looks like he may not be able to continue this game. Looks like he's in some serious distress, some level of brevity moments ago, but it would appear that that might be the last piece of play, and Ian Minjire is warming up on the sidelines. It would appear that Ian Stewart Minjire may have to get into this game sooner than he probably had anticipated.
Crouch. Bang. Set. Play.
Duncan Ekasi with a quick ball out, retrieves it back from Neto Simiu. Neto had numbers out, didn't look like he wanted to use any of them. Impala retaining the ball.
Advantage.
Neto with a deft kick, almost retrieves it, but it will be a penalty for Impala. And Mike, what do you think Impala are going to pick up in here? Do you think they're going for the line out, or do you think that Mr. Oliech may have the boot?
I'm looking at the distance. I'm also looking at Oliech, who's limping. They have opted to go for the boot. I thought that they would probably go for the line out, but anyway, the call has been made. Oliech will attempt to go for goal, and this is quite a distance, Hillary.
It actually is, this by any standards, even by international standards, is not the shortest of distances.
Excuse me.
This is ambitious. But you have to admire the ambition in this young man, the confidence. Retrieving that ball a few moments ago, setting up that try.
They say ambition maketh a man. It can also break him. Samuel H had the distance but did not have the precision. So the score still remains Impala 14, Kenya Harlequin 12.
And you know, Hillary, just looking at the statistics, Queens have owned Impala over the past 3 seasons, winning in the 2011-2012 season, the 2012-2013 season, and the 2013-2014 season. Impala definitely out to back that trend.
I do agree, Mike. It would appear that this may be the turning point. Still got in excess of over 45 minutes to play, but Impala definitely looking like they have the confidence to try and change that. Ball goes off the head of John Ouko. You never basically see someone charging down a ball with their heads.
And I'm just trying to figure out who John Ouko has come in for, because John Ouko didn't start this game. He's come in for Felix Okari. Will determine whether it's a blood bin, but John Ouko is on as a replacement. The match continues. Indeed, John Ouko is on for Felix Okari, who's receiving treatment in the blood bin. He'll be back any moment now once he finishes being patched up by physiotherapist Chris Makacha. The action continues here.
Pius Shindu, deep within the Impala territory, picks up the ball, has Nyandigisi off his shoulder. Nyandigisi, the try scorer moments ago, beats a first and second defender, does very well, very strong ball carry, quick ball out, and Impala back rampaging up on the attack. John Ouko, the sub who's actually into the blood bin, does very well to return the ball. You can see Samuel Lech asking for a cross kick, not well, early read. Omer, looks like it was a high tackle. No hand coming out for any penalty advantage. Hand comes out now. Olieche and Okwomi having their own piece of individual action on the side of the pitch. Always happens in a derby.
Advantage over.
Impala have men out wide. That's Nyandigisi again, just taking it in. This has been a good spell for the Gazelles.
They sniff blood and they're definitely going for it. This is the first time we'll actually see an Impala looking like going to drink some blood. Duncan Ekasi, big thump, bounces off the fast, retains the ball, looking a little bit more fluid for Impala now.
And that's an advantage.
Okova goes down on the tackle, still retained on the Impala side.
Stay on.
This is Nato Simiu attempting the drop goal. And it sliced.
Really wouldn't be his proudest moment ever.
Neither was that moment by Edwin Oseko. Unable to field that ball on the pass.
Time out.
It's the man who stays down.
Yes.
Michael Kariuki Mugo looks like he's in a bit of a spot of bother. Only referred to as Kiki.
Yeah.
Former Strathmore Leos player, one of the founder players of that club, since made the transition to Impala R.F.C. Former
So
Kenya
the
international,
advantage for the high tackle was played.
still
There was
only
a tussle
25.
between 8 and 15. So from there we play knock-on. We play knock-on by colors, white ball. I have a word with 8 white and 15 color.
So the teams huddle there,
8 color.
probably just talking about their tactics. But you also feel, Hillary, this is a welcome break for both sides. The tempo has been ferocious.
The tempo has indeed been ferocious, and the African sun definitely not polite.
Number 8 color. 8, number 8 and 15 white. See guys, we had a tussle over there off the ball. Please let's keep our hands to ourselves, okay? Thank you very much. Okay? Number 8 still. There was a high tackle from you. I played advantage. Please keep your tackles low. Thank you. From here we just play knock on by color. White ball. Turn back on.
Michael Bugu is up on his feet, and it's going to be an Impala put in at this scrum down.
Crouch. Bind.
You know, Hillary, you also feel that Neto Siliu has gained a lot more prominence in this match.
He definitely has. I'd probably also wanted to just get Neto and Oliech changing. They both can actually act very well on 10 or 15. Because Neto also has the ability of just bringing a different dimension when he actually attacks from the number 15 position.
True indeed. And Queens have Kevin Keegan playing at number 10 in place of the regular Isaac Adimo, who's unavailable today. It would be great to see Kevin Keegan also spark into life. Wily player who can play on the wing, at fullback, and also at fly half, utility back. Has been considered for the Kenya Sevens team in previous years, but never making the cut. Anyway, play continues here. Oliech dropping that ball on the tackle.
Often happens with a player who's been involved in some serious levels of contact. I think after that hit, Oliech may have perhaps just gotten a bit frazzled. Who will need to just recover his confidence. Of course, the bruised and paining body doesn't help the cause.
Indeed, although not in our screens, he seems to be comfortable now. The moment after retrieving that ball, he seemed to have limped for a bit of time, but seems to be back, and he'll probably see out the rest of his game.
When you are ready, please, let's keep our scrum steady and square until the ball comes in, right? Crouch. Bind.
All eight boys.
Set. No. No. Just be at the back. Eh? No, if you play out, it's proper. Yeah? Last play, yeah. It has to be at the hooker or the number 8.
So we're done with the 40 minutes as referee Bosco Mwamba awarding a penalty to Queens. Laila Siligo is going to go for touch. No, he doesn't. Opts to run the ball. This is Keegan looking to step and attack the space. Still keep it alive there. This is Muhanji, who has been exceptional in this first half. Paul Abuto, the 2-try hero for Queens, just taking it into contact. Quickly taken penalty, Patrice Agunda. Azhaman Humwa to Brian Okwami. Keegan again, playing it to Ernest Ngog. Ernest Ngong, former Cameroonian international, playing his rugby for Kenya Harlequin. This is Agunda retrieving that ball, and this is the dangerous Muhanji. No, anytime Muhanji and Abuto have linked up, it has been productive.
This time Muhanji just didn't have enough space, put it back in, and Kenya Harlequins return the possession. They look like they want to finish this half in a flourish, Mike.
Penalty advantage to Queens. It's in a position where you feel that they can attempt to go for the 3 points. And looking at Laila Siligo's body language, that is probably what is going to happen next.
It's always a psychological boost to go into the interval having the lead. It would appear that's what Kenya Harlequins are trying to do, to ensure that they can actually finish up on a high, head held up high. They've had some moments of very scintillating rugby, but they've also had some moments of, for lack of a better term, outright mediocrity.
Well, they have a chance to atone for that. Laila Siligo just lining up for the goal attempt. This is probably going to be the last cause of action in this match in the first half, I beg your pardon. Siligo is all concentration, lining up. And it sails wide. The scores remain Impala 14, Queens 12. Referee Bosco Mwamba signals for halftime.
So at the interval, Impala looking like they just want to wipe out ghosts of losses in the past, in the recent past against Kenya Harlequins, with a slight 14 points to 12 advantage. They look like they have the firepower. They are showing the desire and there's yet another 40 minutes for them to get this one over the erstwhile bitter rivals.
So, hatumwambie nini, tuongee how much, hawezi rekebisha kicha happen. Sawa.
From international glory
I'm happy that I've defended the title and I won 2 years ago.
to personal life, from the young talent to the superstars,
I'm delighted that I was able to defend my title.
the legends.
Whenever I keep on training, I get better and better.
This is the home of the champions, setting the pace. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. only on Zuku Sports.
My name is Kieran Jaffa. I was born in Kenya. I'm half Indian, half English. When I'm in the kitchen, while it's all about, I like people to enjoy themselves.
Bend over.
George is my cow. You're there to do a job and to deliver, and kitchen's a pretty high pressure environment. But that's just me at work. When I'm out of work and doing whatever I'm doing, I really like to enjoy myself. Biggie, biggie, biggie! Look at him, such a dude. I enjoy the outdoors. I love getting out, sort of out of the city. I'm a very outdoorsy type of person, whether I'm fishing or just going on safari. Get out there, I love nature. I'm very like that.
Mat, just go on a lineup, sindio?
Games on day 3 of the Kenya Cup tournament, starting with the flood-lit game between Strathmore Leos and Mean Machine. And then Homeboys take on Western Bulls, and the game of the day, Lunch Bar Queens are going to be taking on Impala Saracens. And on Rugby Legends, we talk to Dave Mshila as he concludes his journey.
It's not just a game, it's about the country, it's about social life, it's about how we are being treated and how we also want to move.
All this on Scrapdown.
So ngoja kwanza tuone.
Ani see, is
penalties out of nothing. For any hand, wachane nayo. Company, if you stay in the 15, because what they're doing, they're beating us on one pass. If you keep it tight, and then just drift up. So guys, just look up. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of space. Control the game.
Look, we have been working to do specific things as a team. If you use that as a yardstick, like Neto says, we are not badly off. The 4 parameters, the defense is holding on until we give a penalty or a foul. We've said the borderline decisions, we do not want to play around with that. Sawa. If you can't walk over, leave it. You are doing the team service by leaving it. You are hurting us by putting in your hand. Knocking the ball off someone's hands is a penalty. We learning. Sawa sawa. Usigonge ball kutoka kwa mkono za mtu. Go in and put a tackle. Sawa sawa. Our defense is patient, organized, and very decisive when we decide to. Sawa sawa. So hapo, the system. Trust the system. The set pieces, we know what to do. Keep communicating. There's problems, consult, and then if you need to talk to the referee, you know the protocol. For me, the biggest concern is the territorial. First half 50-50. The scores show. Sawa sawa. That always is our biggest fight. You're in their half, there's more chances for you to score. There are only three things I'm saying. First, Skiza, this is a game like any other game. Forget about the media hype, oh, that blah, blah, blah. Come back to your senses. What would you do when you're playing Mwamba? What would you do when you're playing any other team? I want you, when you're walking back, regroup. Bring it back down to earth. Sawa sawa. The calls, the plays you do in against any other team, that's what we want you to do. Forget about this thing. It's just working emotions and clouding our judgment. Sawa sawa. We'll treat this game like any other game. And when we come back, that's what I'll ask. How did we play this game? The second thing is the penalties and those small borderline things that are hurting us. Both in our half and their half. Sawa sawa. Work so hard. There. Disease or stay away from those 50-50 things. The last thing, like I'm telling you, let's fight for territory with everything we have. Sawa sawa. With everything we have, it's very important. Talk ni positive. If you want to be negative, alafu tuheshimu protocol.
That's a recap of the first half. Those are big hits there from I'm talking. And this is Paul Abuto. Playing in Dennis Muhanji. Dennis Muhanji has been in inspiring form for Queens in this match. He has set up 2 of Paul Abuto's tries. Unfortunately, his side are trailing 14 points to 12. The match remains on a knife edge. This is P.S. Shiundu early on, stepping. He didn't see Patrice Agunda coming there. Taken out in the tackle. Then Nyandigisi acting as scrum half. Just playing it to Mike Mugo, who just took his eye off the ball for a minute. Lost possession. This is Paul Abuto scoring the try that brought Queens back into the game after being set up by Dennis Muhanji. Dennis Muhanji had spotted a gap early on. Opted to attack the space and play in the young man, Paul Abuto. There you look at it again, Muhanji. He has been the go-to guy for Queens. His midfield partnership with Patrice Agunda proving to be very potent. But here we also look at Sami Oliech there after retrieving the ball, playing it to P.S. Shiundu. He had Nyandigisi who just rode a tackle there. And proceeded to score the try that gave Impala the lead. So if you're just joining us, this is a Kenya Cup Match Day 3 fixture between Lunchbar Queens and Resolution Impala Saracens taking place at the RFUEA Grounds. This match in previous days has been known as the Ngong Road Derby. It still is known as the Ngong Road Derby between two clubs who share a bitter rivalry. They're separated by only a fence. Laila Siligwa, meanwhile, in our picture there, preparing to get the second half underway. If you're joining us, the scores are 14-12 in favor of Impala R.F.C. Impala playing in the white, red, and black strip. Queens in the quartered shirts. And Asiligwa restarts the match there.
Asiligwa himself, a Kenyan international, did play for the national team in the World Cup qualifiers in Madagascar. Kenya just, coming very close to qualify for the first ever Rugby 15s World Cup, needing only 1 point, and that just didn't happen. But anyway, I'm certain that Asiligwa and a very strong composition of that team will be looking at just trying to ensure that they can put that disappointment behind them. And this Kenya Cup will definitely be a dress rehearsal ahead of the Vodacom Cup that Kenya has been invited for next year.
Well, action on the pitch continues there. That's Obino just taking it in for Impala. Mogo to Neto Simiu, who's pulling the strings for Impala Saracens. Yandigisi.
Still.
Mogo again to Neto Simiu, who looks up, spots space deep down, forces Abuto to turn. Is this ball going to go out into touch? Abuto is there to field it. Restarting with Eric Shikuku, one of the youngsters who has been promoted from the bench for this match. But Neto Simiu is back home with Edgar Obino.
I think Shikuku has been very, very impressive in the game so far.
True indeed, he reminds me of Duncan Abuyeka in the first match. Also had a very great game. But this is Neto Simiu. Doesn't quite have the legs, but he has the composure to just wait for support.
Quick penalty, however, caught himself in a spot of bother, didn't have any support, and Kenya Harlequins quickly start off.
No, it isn't.
Lala Siligwa looking to kick Kenya Harlequins into a very respectable and decent position to take out a line out.
Half a meter. So come. White. Hold on, White. Give. They come in. Kala. That's fine. No, that's off the mark. That's two off the mark. Please. You're two off the mark. Two are far away off the mark.
Neto Simiu taking his time there. Tempo seems to have dipped a bit. Teams perhaps just trying to get the adrenaline pumping back into the system.
And also probably, Hillary, as you're going into the business end of the match, you don't want to commit any mistakes, any errors that will prove to be costly.
Captain.
Of course, with the 14-12 scoreline, everyone would perhaps want to go around and look and exercising caution. They already have an idea of where their weaknesses for irrespective teams are, and they'll be trying to ensure that they can limit the number of errors that they had in the first half.
When you're ready.
Neto Simiu has Anthony Nyandigisi out wide. Takes it in. That's Simiu again to Joel Omer, who just spills the ball on the tackle. Advantage swing to Queens. The game bubbling into life. Kevin Keegan. Edwin Oseko was on the wing. And This is looking promising for Queens. William Mawira with the try. Really out of nothing. It all happened when Joel Omer spilled the ball on the tackle, turning over possession to Queens. Kevin Keegan played it out wide to Edward Oseko. Oseko had William Mawira in support. Mawira just turning on the afterburners. Face down, great running technique. Kome Anampiu left gasping. Samuel Lech was never gonna get there in time. Mawira going over. Queens back in the lead, 17-12 with the conversion to come. 17-14, I beg your pardon.
Mawira just gliding on through. He's been very quiet for this game. And when called upon, he definitely answered very emphatically and in tremendous fashion and style. 17 to Kenya Harlequins, 14 Impala.
It's 12.
Kenya Harlequins 17, Impala 14. Still is a very open game, could be anyone's. And I suspect this is perhaps the tonic that the game required to get everyone back into action. I think Impala will definitely be roared on back into action with this.
True indeed, that was just a tonic after a sedate start to the second half. William Mawira just getting the game into life. The game is wide open. And I can see not in our picture, Impala preparing to make a double substitution. Robert Aringo and Ian Minjire preparing to come on. Queens have already made a substitution. Frank Halwale has come in for Edward Oseko.
My suspicion is that Samuel Lech might be moving to number 10 and Minjire 15. I think Neto Simiyu may be the party that will be rested. It's just a hunch. Nothing informs it. So Roberto Odhiambo and Ian Minjire get into the field of play. Minjire replaces George Okova, other wing. And Robert Odhiambo replaces Kome and Ampiu. Robert Aringo with his first ball gets it to Ian Minjire, and the substitutes work magic immediately. Great work by Robert Aringo and Ian Minjire. How about that? That's signaling your entry into the game. First touch, sublime, Midas touch. Patrice Agunda had absolutely no response whatsoever for hard-running Robert Aringo and Ian Minjire in the right position to glide in and just... This game is absolutely exciting. Conversion by Oliech good. So Impala extend their lead 21 points to 17. And all of a sudden, we have an exciting matchup once more. Godfrey Okoth gets into the field of play, replacing Laila Siligwa. So both teams keen on changing their approach in the last 30 minutes of the match. Brian Wandera trying to get in, but stopped in his tracks by Neto Simiu. Kevin Keegan getting his captain, Patrice Agunda. Well, let's get Bill Mawira. We already saw a glimpse of what Mawira had a moment ago when he countered off for a 60-meter dash to score Kenya Harlequin's third try, beg your pardon. Bobby Quare was in the right place to ensure that that did not go further than there, and Brian Okwomi just getting stopped dead in his tracks, literally. Polo Imbo with a thumping tackle, and this definitely looks like it's opening up to be a battle royale.
No, Hillary, you're right in saying the game is opening up. It's definitely going to be a high-scoring game as Tony Mutai just takes his eye off the ball, drops it, and he seemed to be attacking space. But indeed, the game is bubbling into life. 21-17. It reads more like a basketball match than a rugby match.
Bit of a brain fart moment there from one of the Kenya Harlequins' experienced players, Tony Mutai.
Mugo again to Neto Simiu, looks up, boots it deep into Queen's territory. Asiligwa is back home, fielding it. Mawira again has been released. He has Ian Minjire to deal with, and that's a solid tackle.
That definitely looks like it was an accident scene. Body sprawled all over, and Dennis Mwanji taking matters into his own hands.
Dennis Muhanji has had a quiet second half thus far, but Queens looking to stay in touch with Impala. They're 4 points behind. Kevin Keegan again to Dennis Muhanji. A handling error, breaking up that good face of play from Queens. They seemed intent on going all the way to score, but you just feel maybe it's the eagerness, the anxiety as they continued attacking.
We had mentioned in the earlier stages of the second half that the adrenaline looked like it was flowing. I'm certain that has definitely since been changed, and there's lots of activity right across the pitch. No one looks like they're about to just sit back and act as one of the poster boys. Everyone looks like they're keen on getting into the mix of the action.
Bang. Set. 9. No.
Something very interesting happened there. Scrum of just popping the ball straight into the 8th man.
Hookers clear the tunnel,
Off the scrum, but it would appear that that was because the referee had already blown the whistle. Would have thought that someone was having a very interesting tactical lack of awareness session on the pitch.
Crouch. Bind. Set. 9.
Just looking at this match, 17-21, we still have all of 27 minutes to play.
Move away.
And we've already seen 38 points spread across the board, almost evenly.
Very exciting piece of action we've been treated to today. Paul Aguto just being very eager, not too keen to sit on his laurels and be happy with the 2 tries he scored so far.
But you've got to admire that level of continuity in Paul Aguto, just keen to get on with the game, just keen on ensuring that the match continues. Edward Oseko in our picture. And you know, Hillary, just looking at Queens, they have made a tactical substitution. Godfrey Okoth has slotted in at halfback. Lyle Asiligwa has dropped back to fullback.
And Asiligwa breaks you spoke about it. And it would appear that there's a reason why he was placed there.
True indeed. And Eric Shikuku is the man who has been substituted.
That's a mole. That's a mole.
Robert Aringo definitely still a thorn in the flesh for the Kenya Harlequins backline. But what a way to announce your presence in the game. Aringo and Minjire, first touch on the ball.
True indeed, and both players coming back from injuries, long-term injuries for that matter, injuries that have kept them out for a better part of last season. They even didn't play on the 7th series. And you just feel Eric Situma will be happy with their progress thus far.
Neto Simiu definitely knows that he's got a tall man in Ian Minjire, and Minjire definitely gets a ball, but Impala just could not go around and meet up Minjire halfway.
Yeah, Impala guilty of ball watching and turning over possession. Once again, Laila Siligwa looking very promising at fullback for Queens. Now, this is another aspect of Lyle's game that we are getting to see, one that we'd not usually see with him playing at scrum half. We still have about 24 minutes to play. The scores remain Queens 17, Impala 21. This is a Kenya Cup match day 3 encounter taking place at the RFUEA Grounds. This match is also known as the Ngong Road Derby. That's Paul Abuto. He's been a busybody in this second half, looking for work.
Because you can actually see that Paul Abuto was very keen on getting into the action, just popping up where least expected. Nyanigisi getting well held there by Patrice Agunda.
And you just feel his decision making there. Opting to settle the dummy and going to contact was not the best when he had 2 men outside.
And losing the ball in the process.
This is Brian Wandera. Kevin Keegan to Enes Gong. Ngong only knows one way, and that is route 1. He takes it into contact.
No relation to the road Ngong Road, I hope.
No relation whatsoever. Robert Aringo with a huge tackle there.
Thumping tackle coming in from Robert Aringo and Duncan Ekasi. Ajacho being dangerous. They lifted the player up. Referee just informing the reason as to why he actually called that.
Right? I didn't get a shot number. 21. Yeah, 21. It's okay. I'll get it from the touch edge. Yeah?
That's the second one. Second plunge.
Okay, but maybe I did take the first one. I've spoken to them after this. I'll talk to them again.
Asiligwa with the penalty into touch. Queens will retain possession for the line out. As we just see Impala making 2 more substitutions. In comes John Ouko and Matthew Musalia. Leaving the field of play is Edgar Obino and Felix Okari. Okari has done his 60 minutes, close to 60 minutes, and will be rested.
Godfrey does very well. The smaller players always have the ability to just have some Braveheart-like condition deep within their soul.
Ian Minjire has P.S. Shundu out wide, steps through 1, 2, 3 players, but he has no one to offload it to. Managing to keep the ball alive there for Impala. Neto Simiu looks up, once again spotting the gap, noticing that there's no one back covering, and it's going to go out into touch. Impala just playing a territorial game right now as they seek to dominate the proceedings. Frustrate Queens with about 20 minutes to play. Queens will be hard-pressed to retrieve the ball and continue chasing this match.
I'm not getting you, Josh.
A rapid applause is being given to Samson Onsomu, set to get onto the field of play for Impala. Not the biggest of players, but definitely has a heart that compensates for anything that he lacks physically.
And has received the biggest of cheers. Good take there from Impala. Pierce Shundu is out wide. He has Paul Abuto. Steps in, covering tackle from Patrice, but Shiundu keeps his feet.
I think Patrice Agunda was just trying to save blushes there. Doesn't look like one of those dirty players. Didn't look like it was an intentional tackle, but the referee is still playing advantage for that high tackle. Impala sniffing blood at this moment.
That's Eric Kere just keeping the ball alive for the Impala Saracens. Neto Simiu chips it over. Laila Siligwa calls the mark. Wise thing to do under all that pressure from Impala.
High tackle still being played, advantage for. So Neto Simiu quickly taking it. Met by Patrice Agunda, the Kenya Harlequins captain.
Just to start. Yeah.
So the decision has been made by referee Bosco Mwamba. It's going to be a scrum down. I just see the Impala bench anxious. We still have all of 19 minutes to play. True indeed, this match has bubbled into life in the second half. A lot more livelier than the first half.
Impala doing the sensible thing, electing to go for a set play. They've been dominant in the scrums in the first half. Looks like they fancy their chances off the breakdown.
Duncan Ekasi picking it up from the base. Impala with the momentum as they build up.
Pius Shundu looks like he'll counter in, and yes, Shundu does. Try good by Pius Shundu. Impala 26, Kenya Harlequins 17.
And that try means Impala have a bonus point for scoring 4 tries. They lead 26 points to 12. 26 points to 17. The bonus point is in the bag. Samuel Lech with the conversion, extending Impala's lead to 28-17 against Queens. We have about 17 minutes to play. Hillary, your take on the match at this point?
It definitely looks like Impala may have had this sealed up. Queens would probably want to go around and chase that 11-point differential within the next 15 minutes, because it appears that Impala have done enough to just get this wrapped up. 4 converted tries. Duncan Ekasi gets the ball. Big man barrages right through. There's absolutely no prisoner being left out in here. This is a battle royale.
No, it wasn't late. It wasn't late.
Laila Siligwa just looking to get territory for Queens. Meanwhile, news just coming in from the Impala club. Nondis are leading Mwamba R.F.C 13 points to 12 in a Kenya Cup match that is going on at this moment. That was a late kickoff. It started at 5 p.m. We're done with the first half in that match. Meanwhile, here at the RFUEA, the scores remain: Impala 28, home side Queens 17.
It's okay. Scrum. No, scrum. Scrum.
Some rush of blood to the head there. Nothing too serious. Game will resume with Samson Onsomu doing the scrum put-in.
Set. Wait. 3.
Penalty for Impala. Kenya Harlequin is not actually pushing legally.
But Duncan Ekasi losing the ball once he took it into contact.
No problem. Excuse me. You're not driving straight. No. I'm telling you, number 3 color, you're not driving straight. So keep your back straight.
No, Hillary, just looking at match referee Bosco Mwamba, he has handled this game with authority. We haven't seen any flash-ups, any flare-ups that are typical of many derby matches.
The one thing he's actually done is that he's allowed the game to actually flow. More often than not, you'd get players getting frustrated when they don't get the advantage play for them. So that's why, I mean, one thing to his advantage, or rather two, I think I got stopped mid-sentence there by thumping it by Patrice Agunda. I was actually speaking about the match referee. He's actually allowed the game to flow on. And of course, that actually allows the passion to be controlled and the fellows focus on the game.
As we're heading into the final 13 minutes of this match, Queens looking to stay in touch. That is Tony Mtai just taking it in. He has numbers arriving. Godfrey Okoth playing it to Kevin Keegan. Keegan spotting the gap. Brian Minor. This is Patrice Agunda. This is a promising moment for Queens.
That's a penalty, and there may be a card for that. Referee stopping the game.
Quickly taken penalty there.
Is that Eden Aguero in the field of play?
No, it's actually Brian Minor. This has been a good spell for Queens.
10 meters.
No, Brian Minor has a very, very uncanny resemblance to Eden Aguero.
The ball carrier must make contact with the opposition first. Okay?
Decision making there, just letting down Queens. They had the penalty advantage, now finding themselves in a spot of bother. Ideally, you know, Hillary, if I was on making the call, I would have gone for the 3 points immediately, but we never know. That's a wicked step from Kevin Keegan. Wow.
Absolute beauty of a try there by Kevin Keegan. That was scintillating stuff. Kenya Harlequin is back into it. 22 points, Kenya Harlequin, Impala 28.
And just as I was questioning their decision making, you know, they opted to go for the 5 points and they got it, but that was a wicked step from Kevin Keegan.
Conversion not good, so the scores remain. Kenya Harlequin 22, Impala 28. I don't understand what the rush was to take that, because that was definitely uncalled for. But with that, Kenya Harlequins now have a bonus point, having scored 4 tries. So at the very least, they already have a point secured in this game.
Captain the white. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yes. Captain, 10. 10. Yes.
This is definitely just piling up. Lots of tension from the stands. 9 minutes, actually about 8 minutes left on the clock. There's a lot of passion being displayed by the fans across the RFUEA grounds in Nairobi.
28-22, we're setting ourselves up for a nail-biting finish. 6 points separating the sides. Queens need a converted try at this point to win this match. Can they attain that in 9 minutes?
Coach. Bang. Set. Keep it straight. Still same.
It's a mighty battle. Both sides looking to secure this match. You can just feel the hunger in Queens. Impala hanging on, but the advantage goes Impala's way. Well, the atmosphere on the stands has been replicated on the pitch, and I think an overall conclusion of this game with 8 minutes to play is that it has been worthy of a derby.
I definitely do agree. They have definitely given the crowd a return on the money that was paid on the entry, and I'm certain everyone's actually been watching this match from home has also felt sufficiently entertained.
Samon Somu with the put-in for Impala. He has Samuel Liech and Neto Simiu out wide. That's cheeky play from Duncan Ekasi. Onsomu just keeping it alive.
Duncan Ekasi looked to have lost the ball on his way down. Onsomu retrieves it somehow. Joel Omer with the ball. Omer not the easiest possible, and Samuel Liech looks like he's going on for Impala's 5th try. Try good, Impala 33. Impala 33, Kenya Harlequins 22.
time. One word at a time.
With the conversion, if it goes in, the scores will go to 35-22, but let's just wait. There's concentration. He misses it. The scores remain Impala 33, Quins 22. We have about 5 minutes to play, and Hillary, 5 minutes to play, 33-22.
I'm still seeing a try for Kenya Harlequins, a converted try.
5 minutes.
At the very least, I do believe that they owe that to the partisan support, and I can actually see them having the ability within the next 4 minutes to score a try and convert it. Thumping it there by Musalia on Lala Sligo, but Musalia did not roll away, so it'll be a penalty for Kenya Harlequins. Kevin Keegan quickly takes the ball, has absolutely no one in support. Gives it back to the big boys. The forwards do the job that's required to be done of them. Kenya Harlequins now throwing caution to the wind.
Of course, Quins looking to end this game on a high. Kevin Keegan playing it
Bill
out wide
Mawira just leaving the ball behind.
Just losing the momentum there. Although they keep possession, time is ticking. The scores remain Impala 33, Quins 22. Keegan again just pulling the strings. This is Brian Okwomi. Has Mike Simiu there. Okoth. Keegan, that was a brilliant offload to Brian Minor. Minor just taking it in. Tony Mtai looking to secure the rack. He has acting as a scrum half. He plays it to Simiu. Kevin Keegan is sprawled on the ground in an image not on our screens. There it is now. Time is ticking. We're going into the last 2 minutes of the match. Quins looking to stay in touch. That's Okoth spotting a gap, attacking it, and then losing possession. This is Joshua Momanyi, but the referee, Bosco Mwamba, holds play.
Who lost his forward? He passed back. Then it's a forward pass from White. Scrum with colored ball. No, it's a pass forward. It's not a knock-on. Pass forward.
And information just reaching us is that Impala fullback Sami Oliech has been voted man of the match. Hillary, as we're winding down, Oliech's performance, maybe you could just say something about it.
I think this has definitely been a great display of rugby. More importantly, show that there's definitely continuity.
No, up.
Kevin Keegan takes a much-deserved rest.
Already engaged before set.
He's been a tiring workhorse. And of course, like I said, Samuel H has definitely stepped up. Many have actually questioned his ability to just sustain that pressure over and over again, but Samuel H has been able to disapprove the naysayers and definitely, deservedly, is the man of the match.
Laila Siligwa opting for touch. As Quins looking to leave
Come to the 5.
this match with something.
Upper, 17.
We're into the final 30 seconds of the match.
Give, please. No, front White.
They retrieve the line-out ball, looking to maul.
Now you have to use it.
Remember, both sides have gotten bonus points. They've both scored 4 tries. And the advantage swings back to Impala. Hillary, time is ticking. You just feel things haven't gone Quins' way today.
Last play. Catch. Bang.
We are done with the 80 minutes. This is probably going to be the last play. Simon Somu just playing it to Neto Simi, who takes his sweet time, showboats. And that's it, full-time score. Impala have run out winners here at the RFUEA Grounds, beating the bitter rivals Queens 33 points to 22 in a Kenya Cup March Day 3 match that also doubled up as the Ngong Road derby. It has been an exciting game. Impala scoring 5 tries, 4 of them converted. Queens scoring 4 tries, 1 of them converted. Full-time score, Impala 33, Queens 22.
Did you know that the new Zuku Navigator is a high-definition HD personal video recorder offering advanced features including pausing, forwarding, and rewinding of your amazing moments and highlights of live TV. Also record 450 hours of content of your favorite TV shows. The Navigator comes with an enhanced parental control feature which assists in filtering what the kids are watching. Also, the picture-in-picture PIP feature is available which allows you to watch 2 channels simultaneously. For only 8,998 Kenya shillings, you can own one by visiting our Zuku shops located at the Junction on Ngong Road, Gateway Park on Mombasa Road, Diamond Plaza in Parkland, Nyali Cinemax in Mombasa, or call 020-5230-230. And for more information, visit our website www.zuku.co.ke and our Facebook page at Zuku Official.
Next week on Zuku Sports, we bring you a Thanksgiving Day clash from the NFL as the Eagles face the Cowboys. More world-class live basketball from the NBA and the EuroLeague. Champions League and EPL action as Arsenal take on Dortmund and West Brom. Plus more top-notch football from the A-League and Russian Premier League. Next week on Zuku Sports.
All right, match day 3 done and dusted here. Impala finally beating Harlequins after I think almost 2-3 years in the Kenya Cup. Right here with me right now is the Impala skipper, Duncan Ekasi. Maybe you can just shed some light on how the game was won and what the win means for Impala in this season. Mr. Ekasi, what went right for you guys today, by the way? Because at some point it looked like Queens were coming back. So what went right for you guys today?
What we agreed at halftime, we agreed to just put our structures in place, which is basically playing on the right end of the pitch And because the more you play on the right side of the pitch, the more opportunities you get. And that's what we just did in the second half. We played more on the side of the pitch and we got the points.
You haven't beaten Queens in almost, I think, 3 or 4 years, by the way, in Kenya Cup. What does it now do for the team now going forward?
For the team, basically, it's not even a matter of Queens. It's a matter of building on every week that we play. Because if you could see this team, basically it's had a 3-year turnaround. Most of these guys are young guys. They've been beaten by almost every team. So you could see our performance the past 3 years. But now they are match hardened, they are battle hardened. They can play. So our aim is just take it a game at a time and get the points.
Okay. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, right here with me is Frank Dong, who is, I believe, one of the stand coaches at Impala, a former Kenya international in the 15th category, and a former Impala player. So, Frank, what went right for you guys today? It's been 3-4 years of playing second fiddle to Queens. What went right for you today?
Defense. Just out and out defense. We managed to defend well and capitalize on the turnovers and got a few points on the board. The strong point is obviously the maul. We've conceded most of our tries against Queens from the maul, and this time we managed to defend that well, very well actually.
What are now the what's now the target for the season? Because you've won 2 out of 3 games, by the way. What are you looking at now for this season? Is it being in the final 4 or winning the trophy?
We have to be in the final 4 first, then win the trophy. But to be honest, we're taking it 1 match at a time. We won't think that far. We think about winning every match to get us in the final 4. Then from the final 4, we worry about the next game.
Okay. Well, I saw earlier Vincent Mose and Ian Semu playing for the second team. Do they come back into this team, or is there stiff competition for places in this squad?
The team that played today was on merit. So the boys that stand out made the team. So they're also on field. They coming back from injuries, and Moses out of the game for some time. So if they play well, they get the shots. With the boys who are on form today, remain on form, they maintain the shots. That's the rule.
All right, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asante.
What about? Okay, all right. Yeah. Patrice Agunda with me here right now. The loser. Okay. He's the captain of Harlequins. Just what went right or what went wrong with you guys today? I mean, you've been having the edge of Impala for the last 4-5 years, by the way, but it's been broken. So, what went wrong?
I think our defensive structure really didn't work for us, and especially the man-on-man tackle really come through for us, and plus we didn't play according to our structure. But kudos to Impala, they brought their A game. And they deserve winners for today.
Okay. Yeah. Now going forward, you've won 2 games, but so are you still very much in contention to be in the semi-finals or probably even to win the Kenya Cup this season?
Definitely, it's a long league. A lot can happen between now and then. It's still early. All we can do is just work on our weaknesses and come back stronger.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Habari zenu? What's so bad? Relax. Smile at me, man. Now you have gathered now that feeling.
Are you smiling now?
Yeah.
Can smile too.
With me here is Queen's coach, Sydney Obonyo.
Yes.
Sydney, what went wrong for you guys today? You've had the edge of Impala for the last 4-5 years. What gave the game away today?
A few lapses in a few general areas was creating a bit of a hiccup in the game. We got back our footing, but now again, towards the end, again we started the concentration level dropped a bit.
Okay. What next now? Do you still have high chances of winning the Kenya Cup or being in the final 4?
But of course, yes, we want to be in the final 4 and want to win this cup. Okay. It's just a few polishing issues, then we'll be back on course.
All right. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
All right.
Quite shy.
All right, man of the match, former St. Mary's star, Samuel Lech, by the way, had a fantastic game. Well done. What went right for you guys today, by the way? How was the game itself?
It was pretty hard from the first whistle, but I think what helped us is our discipline. But towards the second half, we lost our discipline and Queens came back. That's when we just talked about it, cooled down, and came back into the game.
You seem to have an injury, I think, in the first half, by the way, when you went for that high ball. Which
just a knock. Nothing much, yeah.
Nothing much, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was okay.
What's the goal for the team this season, by the way? Because you've been rebuilding. So what's the goal for this season? Is it to win the Kenya Cup, to win the Final Four?
Yeah, I think at the moment we just want to make the playoffs. Then from there, hopefully we'll go for the cup. Because we haven't had a few good seasons. So we're really trying to go back to the old Impala. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All the best.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.